If you're researching Greenville, South Carolina right now, you are in the exact right place. But when you're researching relocating here, I know you don't want to actually come and just be a tourist. You want to get into the nitty-gritty, the actual answers for what it's like to move here. So today, we are going to sit down with my team's top agent. You've been asking to see her in one of these videos, and we're gonna answer the questions that you're not finding on Google so that we can make this dream of moving to the upstate a reality. Now, before we get into it, I need you to subscribe to the channel because we are putting out videos like this every single week. And if you haven't reached out to us yet, you should scan the QR code and ask us any question that maybe we don't cover. So without further ado, let's go talk to Christy. Okay, Christy, so you help a ton of people move here, just like the person who's watching this video. Yeah. Who is it that is moving here to the area?
So we see a wide variety of buyers moving here, everywhere from New York, New Jersey, Florida, California, and this isn't one type of person. It's made up of retirees, families, business professionals.
Sometimes they're the move up, like they've got itty bitty people, but primarily I would say like age range is 45 to 65 plus.
I would agree with that. Yeah, it's a lot of people coming into that retirement stage of life, just looking for a better quality of living.
There's so many different places around, like it's not just Greenville.
Right.
And so that's why like we say the upstate. Why Greenville? Why Greer, where we're standing? What are they telling you?
Yeah, that's one of my most favorite questions to ask. When I hear about people relocating, I want to know why. What's bringing you to Greenville? Conversation after conversation. It's lower cost of living, property taxes when we're talking about people coming from up north or from California, better quality of living, schooling for their kids. It's a lot of the same conversations week in and week out with these buyers.
What makes the quality of living here so much better?
You know, that's a great question. I don't know that I know the answer to that.
I've found that it's definitely, you said taxes. Everybody has a thing with their money going to the government. Politics, I think I hear about that quite often.
I do, yeah.
And I know that's a touchy subject nowadays, but it's definitely one of those where if the political scene where you are is not exactly where, like what you want, then that oftentimes will prompt the move. But then also like we're outside and we do a lot of life outside. There's so much to do here. It's not like you're gonna just be in a boring place. What is a question that it seems like everybody asks?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest questions that I get is, where should I be looking? What area tailors to me?
What do you tell them? Or like, what's your answer to that?
I mean, the biggest thing is like, this isn't a same answer for everybody. It's gotta be tailored to the buyer's specific needs. What do they want in an area? What's important to them? Where are they going on a daily basis? And that's one of the things I do in my buyer consults is I really take the time to sit down with my clients and understand what's important to them.
Yeah, but so like, do you play pickleball every day? We have a client who disc golfs. Then there's also the services. Like I know that a lot of our people, they need good doctors. And just, I mean, there's a campus here in Greer. Now, I will add for you guys that are watching that if that is your question, and it probably is, we have some really cool resources that we would love to send to you. We've got the relocation packet that we would love to go ahead and mail to you. So you can scan the QR code that's up here on the screen. And if you've already received that, or you're like, I'm not really a paper person, still you can reach out to us. You can ask for Christy and she will send you a digital relocation guide that has every town listed in it. I think it's a really cool booklet.
Yeah, an additional resource to that is the circle sheet, which gives you a great idea of these different areas and what they have to offer.
Just this year so far, we've helped about 38 of you move here to the upstate that are watching these videos. So what's a question you wish that they would ask, or you wish they knew about this area before they actually moved here?
Yeah, I think one of of the biggest surprises to people, especially relocations coming here to visit or explore for the first time, is they don't really actually understand how big Greenville is. There's such a wide variety of locations and areas to choose from, and it really takes figuring out like what's important to you to determine where do we go from here.
I know that whenever my parents moved here, they freaked out whenever they were like, everything's more than 15 minutes away. Or like to get to a grocery store, they were like, we have to drive 10 to 15 minutes. Or just to get to the other side of town, it was half an hour. But it's a different type of drive. You're not in bumper to bumper traffic.
Right. And I think the other thing that people need to understand is you have all these areas and locations when we're talking Greer, Simpsonville, and all of these areas provide something different. They all have their own sense of community.
Do you have a certain area that more people are gravitating towards?
I mean, I think the most common areas that people talk about when they were thinking about relocating to the upstate is Travelers Rest, Greer, Simpsonville, Fountain Inn's becoming very popular.
Yeah, I think those areas are where we see majority of the growth happening.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean that the entire area.
But that's not the only areas to consider. But when you talk upstate, those are the primary locations that people know. So for example, Piedmont is a place that nobody really knows. That's where I live. Okay. There is a ton of new construction going on out there.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of flexibility of being able to find a little bit more space. It's kind of like your country living, but I can be downtown in 17 minutes.
Yeah, that's nothing, and it's like highway driving for the most part. You're taking these buyers to like people who are selling their houses. So what do you wish that more sellers, like people who are selling their house here, would do or would know whenever you're bringing your buyer through?
Yeah, Aubree, that's a great question. So, as you being the primary listing agent, I think that's a great question for you to chime in on too. But as showing my buyers these properties, one of the biggest feedback that I get from my buyers is just sometimes condition of the home. A little paint goes a long way. Some minor repairs to make the home professionally show when you walk in. First impressions make a big difference.
I would definitely agree with you. There's a lot that goes into selling a house well, and one of those things that we can control just a little bit is the condition. So I know that on our listings, they have a professional staging appointment. We're doing a lot more pre-home inspections. That way we know about all of those little repairs. Sometimes it's just a handyman repair that needs to be done. And that impression coming into the house means so much. But I will say, I have another question for you. What do you think about the pricing of houses here right now? I know a lot of people look at like Zillow and homes.com and are thinking, wow, that's priced really high. Do you think it's priced high?
Yeah, I think we see a really good mix of homes that are priced very well and that come on the market right where they should be, but there's a lot of homes that are overpriced. And I think that goes back to the realtor setting the right expectations and providing the data to show where that home should be listed at.
Yeah, I know that it's one of the hardest conversations that I have, especially about houses here in Greenville. We did such a large increase in value over just the last 5 years that a lot of people are expecting that top dollar, and if they've been on the market for more than 2 weeks, are about 5% off. It is proven time and time again. I just had one yesterday. Sat on the market for more than 2 weeks, 5% different, got the offer, negotiated, it was 5% off. And here's the thing, and I wish more people knew this, you can't underprice a house. We can definitely undersell a house if we just throw the house on the market and pray that somebody comes to buy it. However, the market is going to adjust the price. If it's priced too low for the market value, that just means more people are going to be interested in the house, and that's how the price goes to where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's a situation where you see those multiple offers when the house is priced correctly or just below that market value. We're not seeing a ton of them right now, but again, they do come up often and a true indicator that the house is priced correctly.
What are some of the mistakes that your buyers that are relocating here are making?
That's really tough. I think probably one of the biggest mistakes as a buyer that you can make that I'm seeing right now is people waiting on interest rates to drop. You know, we've been hovering around that 6.5% for a couple years now, and the longer that you wait for those rates to drop, who knows when that's gonna be, the more that the value of that house is going up. So if you wait 6 months, you could be paying much more for that house than what you can today.
Yeah, we follow those appreciation rates and know that they're anywhere from like only 1 to 2%, but interest rates are just staying in the low sixes.
Staying where they are.
Anything else that a buyer should be aware of whenever they're looking to buy a house? Like maybe, hey, don't go buy a car, or you should definitely give all of your tax statements to the lender on time?
Yeah, you know, I mean, obviously throughout the lending process, you want to be truthful. You don't want to go buy a brand new car or finance all your new furniture. Make sure that you're giving accurate information to the lender so that we don't have any hiccups along the way.
Is there anything that whenever you bring offers that you're like, okay, this seller's making a mistake, or hey, that seller, if they just would have done this differently?
I mean, I think the absolute biggest thing, and we've already talked about that, is pricing the house correctly. With the market right now, and there's a lot of inventory, buyers just don't have the rest to make a decision. And if you don't price it correctly, your house is gonna sit on the market. And we don't want that.
Yeah, last night, Thursday, was our live show, the Greenville Gab, and I look at those market data numbers all the time. So if you are interested in knowing a little bit more of the specific data, like what I looked at last night, our inventory is up 21% from year over year. It is a ton of houses. I think we're looking at about 800 more houses on the market than this time last year. And I feel like it's something that we beat all the time. Price your house right. Let's say we're talking to someone who's never been here before, and they are like, Greenville is it. We are going to move to Greer so we can come and walk the park that we're standing in. What is some of the first things that your clients are telling you whenever they come in that they're noticing?
So I think some of the biggest comments I get, especially when we're talking about people relocating, you know, from up north or California, is just how genuinely friendly and welcoming everyone is here.
All the time. People are nice, and people like to tell you a little bit of their life story. I will say the other thing that I get a lot is just how green it is. I mean, we are Greenville.
I definitely get that as well. When you're talking about, you know, downtown Greenville and the tree-lined streets, and it's a great place to be.
Is there anything that you would want someone to know? Like, hey, you're taking them on as a new client?
I think the biggest thing is it's so important when you're considering a relocation to reach out to a local expert, have the conversations, get your questions answered. A lot of people that we're talking to, they're not first-time home buyers, but buying in a different state comes with a lot of different nuances. And I think it's very important to feel educated on what the buying process looks like in South Carolina. So if you're looking to relocate here and talk to a local expert about moving to the Greenville area, scan the QR code on the screen and ask for Christy.
I hope we answered all of your questions here. I'm pretty sure we didn't. So that's why you need to reach out to us. And I love that I got to have Christy here, because if you do any research on us, she is like in 50% of all of our Google reviews. And I'm just really, really thankful that I was actually able to get her on camera. So anyways, go watch this next video and we'll talk to you later.